What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. I hope you guys don't think just because I talked to O'Shea Dude Jackson in a live that I'm gonna let up on Tariq Neeshed and FBA, because you do know they are a xenophobic hate group, right? See, I'm an African American, all right? Not to be confused with the xenophobic hate group, all right, called FBA. And I'm gonna prove it. As a matter of fact, this entire video, all right, is African Americans versus FBA. And this is the way I structured the video. You're going to hear African Americans speak, and then you're going to hear FBA speak. You're going to hear intelligent African Americans, intelligent black people, intelligent Africans who live in America, intelligent Americans who are African, all right? And then you're going to hear FBA. You should be able to tell the difference between African Americans and FBA. African Americans are embarrassed by FBA. African Americans don't want to be associated with FBA. FBA and African American are not interchangeable words. They do not mean the same thing. African American is the lineage. FBA is a lineage-based group made up by Tariq Neeshed. African Americans are proud Africans who live in America. We have always been proud. Our culture displays our African pride. The way we dress, the way we dance, the way we move, our activism. We are warriors. We are fighters. We are African fighters. We are African warriors. FBA are weak link Negroes. They are weak. They don't fight. They assimilate. They don't have friends. They don't have lives. They're unsuccessful. They're failures in life. Okay? There's a difference. So I'm going to put this here. And I promise you, I can talk to O'Shea. All right? I can talk to O'Shea because I know what O'Shea's doing in real life, despite the propaganda that he spreads. But you must understand, you always have to keep a line of communication open with your opposition. You always talk to your enemies, the ones that you can, the reasonable ones, the ones that you can negotiate. We do business as Americans, because I'm an American too. We do business with our enemies. China is one of our number one trading partner. They're also our enemy. Russia, all right, is supposed to be our enemy, but I mean, with Donald Trump, they are friends now. But Russia is supposed to be our enemy. We have billions of dollars of trade with them. Every country that's supposedly America's enemy on the national scale, we also conduct many business projects with them. You understand? So you got to understand, you have to keep lines of communication open. Iran and America are currently at war, but they have a line of communication open. There are American businesses in Iran. There are Iranian businesses in America. The Iranian soccer team was hosted in America, and they were allowed to participate in the FIFA World Championships in America, even though we are currently at war. So in the real world, in the adult world, oppositions do have lines of communication. Opposition do talk to each other. And everybody from both sides are not exactly enemies, because it's those who are in charge who create the policies that force the people below them to participate in whatever actions those policies deem. So if you see me talking to somebody that will consider themselves FBA, that's me being a diplomat, an ambassador, keeping lines of communication open with the other side. You go to war both ways. You go to war utilizing propaganda. You go to war utilizing the ability to debate. You go to war physically. Okay? And I've done all of that. And that's what I'm doing now. But I will never stop banging on Tariq. Tariq is not someone I would communicate with, because there's no point. It's war with him. It's war with Tariq. Tariq is you can't communicate with him because he's already settled in his grift. He's settled in his position. And he's a snake and he has no morals, so you can't talk to somebody like that. You have to destroy him. Tariq needs to be destroyed, not talked to, destroyed. And me and many other people are doing that right now. Eventually he will be destroyed, and his group will be destroyed, because they're a parasite in the black community. FBA and ADOS are parasites to the black community. And as an African American, it's our duty to handle the shit that's laying on our floor in our house. And FBA is the shit in our house that we have to unfortunately clean up. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
African American is not a replacement for black.
But you damn sure heard him say nigga at Stringer Bell.
African American is not a replacement for black.
I'm glad you repeated that. Because that right there is an invention of the fucking internet.
Yeah.
We didn't have these problems before the social media, before ADOS and FBA and all this fucking, and that shit is not organic.
Yeah.
That shit is funded by
and-
right-wing organizations.
Yeah.
PFIR, Progressives for Immigration Reform is the name of the organization.
Sounds real political.
We're getting political a little bit.
Political to me.
Because first of all, progressives ain't really fighting for immigration reform. That's not a progressive thing really to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this, in the name, it should tell you. You know what I'm saying? These people are trying to figure out how to bring in right-wing conservative politics into our communities. And they go into places where people are poor and people are their jobs are scarce. And they be like, you know what? It's some immigrants, them African immigrants, some Caribbean immigrants, them Latino immigrants taking your job. It's not the immigrants taking your job. It's the oligarchs, it's the billionaires taking your job. And they blame the people who are being victimized most.
When they say Africans come over and they talk bad about African Americans,
that happens.
That's white supremacy.
That's right.
So you're gonna go over there.
Who the actual culprit? It's not the person coming over talking the shit. It's the person who created the conditions for the shit that you're talking about.
As you can see, I'm working out, so I'm gonna try to do this without losing my breath, okay? Foundational black Americans are not the same as African Americans, and they hate the term African American. Foundational black Americans are extremely anti-immigrant. It's very weird. Like, they have this somewhat not necessarily pro-white, even though a lot of their beliefs do co-sign white supremacist beliefs. But they're not necessarily like pro-white America, but they are pro-American, but just black Americans, just people who are descendants of formerly enslaved people in America. They, again, have to say this large anti-immigrant, anti-anything, non-black American culture. Anytime you use the term African American, or you give an opinion on FBAs that they don't like, they will try to accuse you of not being from America. Ever since I've been called East African 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Foundational black Americans I swear that they are a CIA operation. They are a group of hyper-ignorant, low-educated black folks. Some of them are pretendians, like, you know, the whole people who are like, oh, black people were here before Native Americans. Some of them are like that. Walking around looking crazy. Mind you, there are black people who have plenty of Native heritage, but a lot of them, they're not those people. The thing about FBAs too is that they're extremely insecure. So they need everyone to identify as FBA, or else they feel like what they're saying isn't legitimate. If you don't want to call yourself African American, that's fine. I'm not ashamed of my roots or where I come from. I've been called an African American my whole life. I like the term African American, and I'm going to call myself an African American because that's what I am ethnically. But the moment you say that, tether, how am I tethered to my own culture, bitch? I was born on Long Island. And again, I don't know if I said this in the beginning of it, but FBAs don't have any foundation in like academia. So they will quite literally misquote people. They will rewrite history. And that is one of the reasons why it's so new, because it is not something that is actually grounded in actual intellectually, in actual like black political thought. In the 5 years that I studied Africana and Latino studies, never, ever, ever was the term foundational black American brought up, ever. And as someone who has presented and educated people at multiple universities and colleges, and has to have those presentations be reviewed before you can present, I have never, ever, ever gotten any critique or criticism because I use the term African American. The thing that really makes my ass itch about FBAs is that they're just as hateful as like white supremacists. They have the same like anti-immigrant, like xenophobic, disgusting rhetoric that you hear from racist white folks. They will literally talk to you in your comments the way that these fucking ICE officers are talking to you. Where's your papers? Where were you born at? Where are you from? You don't look FBA. You don't look this. You don't this. That's why I don't engage with them. They're silly and they're goofy.
And another fucking thing. I hate Africans so motherfucking bad. I don't give a fuck about their AIDS. I don't give a fuck about their slavery. I'm glad that they raping their goddamn children and marrying off child brides. That's how much I hate these motherfuckers. I want the worst for them. When I tell you, I hate them motherfuckers with everything in me. I wish that the government would send them motherfuckers back home and every single goddamn last one of them.
Yeah, first of all, I want to preface this video with saying, yeah, I'm a black American and I'm an African American. So all the xenophobic comments trying to tell me that I ain't black American, shit, y'all can leave them, but I don't really care. It don't affect me. You dig? And also trying to tell me I ain't FBA. I don't want to be FBA. You guys are a cult, and I'm about to get on y'all right now. Hey, look, let's not get this confused, because I try to use this as an argument. The sun dodging, crunching, munching European, no, I don't like him. Straight up out the gate. Straight up, I ain't playing no game with him. He know I don't like him. But you niggas, they like to destroy and try to talk down on my ancestors' history, who's supposed to be your ancestors' history. Yeah, I got a problem with you niggas. Straight up. What the fuck? And y'all gotta know that. The sun dodging, crunching, munch, he know I don't like him. Straight the fuck up. He know I don't like him. Y'all niggas, I don't like y'all niggas. Y'all my family, but I don't like y'all niggas. Because y'all very distasteful and disrespectful. And you have the nerve to try to come with division while trying to pass out some form of sick inside of only America black unity. Oh, I'm on you fucking bro. And on top of that, FBA and its twin, which they align themselves with, named ADOS, are hate occult groups who spread division amongst the black community. Not only that, they marginalize black people amongst their own community. Not only that, ADOS has aligned itself with YT sun dodging supremacists. Not only that, ADOS and FBA have the nerve to co-opt the movements and the works that our ancestors did and then try to make it fit their own narrative, acting as if they don't understand that marginalizing the black community inside of America, who's already a marginalized community, isn't going to help but going to make it worse. And then you want to sit here and fight for reparations. And specific, we talking about ADOS, you want to fight for reparations and you want people to have these here documents. Like everybody's supposed to be able to produce a document. Man. And then on top of that, now hold on. On top of that, because FBA got the want and got the nerve to try to sit here and tell everybody they not African, and they go off their genealogy and tell everybody to read these fucking documents. And then when you go off the DNA, they say that's YT man science, sun dodger science, and but who documented your genealogy? Because all y'all don't got your great grandparents and birth certificate. And then where these birth certificates come from? Huh? Where these past and wage certificates come from? Where did these bills of sale come from? Huh? Any of the things that you can use to point out somebody with genealogy, you understand that they have to use the sun dodging, man. You understand they have to use the sun dodging system of government to document themselves, right? So to turn around and try to tell somebody who uses their DNA, which comes from their blood, that this is YT man science and that this is not real, but you want to use
FBA is a hate group. Use another term. FBA means Foundational Black American. Okay. There's a lot of Africans and Caribbeans who come into the country who also check the black race box. But I'm not a black race immigrant. I am an African who's been here since the foundation of this country. Since the Constitution. Since the founding of this country. And I'm black as a part of my ethnicity, not just my race, because I can't trace where in Africa I come from. FBA is an ethnicity, and I'm proud of it.
On my page with the FBA bullshit. Stop coming on my page with the FBA bullshit. I don't know why you would say something like hoodoo is an FBA religion. That does not make sense. I understand that you may, and I certainly hope you are, referring to Black Americans. But why would you want to be the foundation of America? What has America given you that you want to be the fucking foundation of it? That's weird. That's weird, bizarre, embarrassing. Why would you want to be the foundation of America in a religion that has devoted itself over the number of years that it's existed in this country to being an active rebellion against the forces of the government. What do you mean foundational Black American? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even understand why you would bring that over here. Okay? Diaspora wars are almost always directly targeted at Black Americans. And the fact that y'all say this stupid shit, it just keeps it going. You're just keeping it going. So the idea that the people who practice hoodoo are wanting to be the foundation of this country, a country that held them in bond, there is nothing that I want less than that. That doesn't even make any sense. You can acknowledge the contributions of Black Americans to the world without thinking that you need to be the foundation of America. Ill. Yuck. Ew. Stop it. Don't come over here with that. And don't get me wrong, I understand where the desire to protect our culture comes from. I understand that people want everything but the burden of being Black American and then want to shit on us too. I do get it. But the idea that you would want Black Americans to feel so much patriotism towards the country that we would call ourselves foundational to it, give it up. Give it up. It's cooked. CIA, all up and through that. Let it go. And definitely don't bring it over here. Ew. Yuck. Also, I need to save some of the copies of the book for my students in Playing Card Divination and Ancestral Introduction, the course in this September. So there's actually only 14 left. So if you want one of those 14, go ahead and get it. Could be 12. I'm not great with numbers. And I'm also doing this free workshop series. The second one in the series is only if you buy the book. So, buy the book while you can, because they're almost gone. And again, don't bring that shit over here no more.
We need to get some legislation that says that African migrants that target FBA can be charged with a hate crime. In the last few years, there's been a rise in African street gangs that have come into the Black community, and they're targeting Black kids. They're calling them things like cotton pickers, akadas, saying they came as passengers, we came as cargo, and it's just completely disrespectful to us and our ancestors' enslavement, along with our elders who fought for civil rights and immigration rights for them to be able to come to this country. For them to be dropped off in our communities and create this type of friction that has put Black Americans in danger should be considered a hate crime. If your child has been affected by a migrant group and they were targeting them simply because they're Black, I think you should ask the prosecutors to push for a hate crime. It's time to have some hate crime legislation written to protect us from Africans in all African migrant groups. That will be Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Africans from the motherland, any African migrant group that uses the word nigger, akata, calls us cotton pickers, or says anything derogatory about the enslavement of our ancestors should be charged with a hate crime. There's a misconception because we both are of African descent that they don't hate us. These people hate us. They hate us. Only thing you have to do is go on a live and listen to their panels. And they should be charged accordingly with a hate crime. We don't even deal with this from white people. So we definitely shouldn't be dealing with it from nobody that's from the diaspora.
And how the fuck I'm experiencing xenophobia when I'm not even from a different country? They in my comments talking about some go back to your country. We don't need your opinions. We don't need your opinions. Our people been fighting forever. No, y'all ain't did shit. My mother was actually part of the first integrated schools in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, they was throwing rocks at her, calling her the N-word. I grew up hearing the stories. I've been radicalized. Y'all can't radicalize me. Motherfucker, this shit in my blood. My grandmother on my father's side was born on a plantation. Her mother was born on a plantation. Her mother was born on a plantation. I know my history and my heritage. My grandmother moved to the Washington, D.C. in the 50s when there was a bunch of migration of Black people moving up to Washington, D.C. And it became Chocolate City. And she raised 10 kids in Washington, D.C. And all my aunts and my older cousins, they on their 60s and their 70s, they be in my comment section telling me how proud they am that I'm highlighting our culture and our heritage of Washington, D.C. being Chocolate City. My whole family was raised. My grandmother raised 10 kids and all her kids had kids. There's 100 of us in Washington, D.C. This motherfucking culture run deep. My family been here for 70 years in D.C. And my family been in South Carolina for hundreds of years. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. And it really shows how ignorant and hateful you are for you to come in my comment section talking about some go back to your country. We don't need you here. We don't want you here. You motherfuckers think you know everything. You motherfuckers hate. Shut the fuck up. And even if I was an immigrant, I support the immigrants. If I went out there and protested for just immigration, even if black people wasn't also being affected, and I just went out there and protested just because I support my black brothers and sisters around the whole diaspora, then so fucking be it, nigga. You niggas some weirdos. That's showing how much hate you got in your fucking heart. And I got people making videos of me talking about some, oh, you see, he's a divester. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all learn words and just be chatting. He follows Imani B and Afeni. I follow them because they do a lot for local municipalities. They going hard in them streets. In PG County in Washington, D.C. Y'all don't be doing shit. Y'all be talking about my ancestors did this, my ancestors did that. And then all the progress from all of your ancestors stops today because this generation is some lazy pieces of shit that's living off the privilege off the backs of their fucking grandparents. Yeah, get off my meat, young. And I'm not saying none of this shit to prove that I'm black. I really don't give a fuck what your opinion of me and my blackness is. But I'm saying this because I'm proud of my culture and my heritage and how far we came in the fight that my grandmother had to put in just to come up north to raise her children in a better environment. My mother being raised in that integrated school where they were treating her like shit for her to go and get her bachelor's degree and her master's degree and ignore all of the motherfucking smoke, ignore all of the noise in a PWI college, and then move down to Washington, D.C. in the Washington, D.C. area and raise 2-3 kids. Yes, I'm proud of my family. Y'all motherfuckers is weird.
This is why these folks cannot be our representatives, ladies and
So here's my response to that video. I encourage you all to check out that full video so you can have a full context of my reply. But basically, Tariq Nasheed is using this example of this Jamaican American who is a lieutenant governor in Virginia. He's using her as an example to make the point that black immigrants cannot represent the interests of African Americans or so-called foundational black Americans or American descendants of slaves. And basically he's promoting bigotry, he's promoting narrow-mindedness, he's promoting all these stereotypes about black immigrants. The fact of the matter is that there are plenty of African Americans who have the same sellout mentality of that Jamaican American that he is criticizing. There are quote unquote foundational black Americans that have the same sellout mentality as that Jamaican American lieutenant governor that he's talking about. So that negates his whole point. You know, using his logic, you would say that African Americans can't represent themselves because we have sellouts in our community. And the other thing is this: for every sellout example of a black immigrant that he can point out, there are plenty of black immigrants, known and unknown, famous and just regular, ordinary people who are concerned about the plight of African Americans, who are engaged in our struggle and side by side with us on the front lines of the struggle against racism, police brutality, and all kinds of issues. If we just look at a few historical figures like a Marcus Garvey, who is known as like the founder of modern day black nationalism. When we look at the examples of Kwame Ture, who's originally from Trinidad, you know, a man who proved his loyalty. He was on the front lines fighting for our civil rights, and he was engaged in the Black Power movement and the Pan-Africanist movement. And there are so many other countless examples
of revolutionaries that were concerned about the plight of black people, even though they were black immigrants. So we need to stop promoting this division among black people. This is silly. Have that same energy for the white man.
So these are Haitian kids, and their Haitian mother is allowing them to live.
First of all, no, that's not Haitian culture. I don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, you FBA people, number one, thank God that most black Americans don't think like you. The same thing that you guys claim that the diaspora does to you, you are doing to everybody else. You're disrespecting, attacking, being hateful towards people in the diaspora. It's ridiculous. Leave us alone. You have enough problems in the black community to be attacking other countries. There's no reason for it. There's no reason. You have, I promise you, we are not your problem. You have way more problems in your community than us. Just like me as a Haitian, black Americans are not my problem. My problem is Haiti and the Haitian people. I will never blame a black American for everything bad that's wrong with Haiti or with Haitians or with our culture. It's just ridiculous. Leave us alone. You guys are digging yourself, digging your own grave. You are digging your own grave. You're in a country that never wanted you, a country that disrespects you, that tries hard to get rid of you. They have tried multiple times to get rid of you guys. You have no power, no wealth, nothing in this country. They literally have stripped you of everything. And who do you want to attack? The diaspora. That makes no sense whatsoever. Everybody in the diaspora makes fun of each other. Everybody does it. Please, if there's one person that hates the diaspora more, it will be Haitians, to be honest, because we are always the butt of the joke. It's always the Haitians. We are the ones who should act the way you guys act, to be honest. But we don't do that because we know, number one, not all black Americans, not all Jamaicans, not all Trinidadians, not all black people, Africans, are hateful or are going to have something against us. We know that the unity of black people, of the diaspora, is stronger, and that's what's important. For you guys to be here and attacking us is just ridiculous. You're digging yourself your own grave because literally you're in a country that does not want you. If anything happens, how are we supposed to take you in? How is the diaspora supposed to help you or take you in if all you do is attack us? And you're already in a country that does not want you. Come on. Stop this. It's ridiculous. Leave us alone. We are not your issues. You have more issues in your country than us. There's so many problems in the black community. It's not us. It's not immigrants, I promise you.
At this point, I am convinced that FBA supporters are nothing but agents of Trump, of the Trump administration, of MAGA, of white supremacy, whether knowingly or unknowingly, because many of them are supporting Donald Trump openly. Some of them are openly supporting him. And their anti-immigrant rhetoric is very similar to the anti-immigrant rhetoric that we hear from these white supremacists. These FBA people do nothing but promote division and discord amongst black people. They don't promote empowerment for black people. They are about undermining the efforts of black elected officials and discouraging black people from participating in the electoral process, while at the same time they claim that they're about reparations. If you are about reparations, you understand and realize that, number one, you need to participate in the electoral process. Number two, you need to understand that coalitions are very important. And FBA does everything that they can to undermine coalitions between black people and between other groups of people of color. And there's no way you're getting reparations with that kind of division. So that makes it clear to me that they're not really about reparations. And I would not be surprised if some of these key spokespeople that you see on social media are being paid under the table by the Trump administration and by right-wing movements. And we know that this was the case for ADOS, they receive support from some right-wing organizations. And this is on record. I did a video about this years ago on my YouTube page. But yeah, man, I'm convinced that they're agents because they don't contribute to any positive discussion or positive action. They are here to undermine the fight for Black liberation in this country and in this world. And I'm convinced that a lot of these accounts that you see with FBA labels and, fronting to be FBA, I'm convinced that a lot of them are white people, right-wing white people hiding behind Black avatars. So we just got to call these people out for what they are. And I'm glad to see that people are posting videos about these FBA buffoons and calling them out because it's long overdue.
When you say African American, that don't mean nothing to me. I'm not an African American. I have no ties to continental Africa whatsoever. Now understand this. Understand the scholarship. I'm not talking about DNA. Everybody on the planet has DNA that will lead back to Africa. That's not what I'm talking about. Even though that's the case, everybody has a piece of DNA from Africa, but do you call people in Dominican Africans? Do you call people in Haiti Haitian Africans? Well, don't leave your special terms for us. We didn't ask for that. We don't accept that. We are foundational Black Americans. We are the ones that built this country. We were here before there was a country. We did not have to immigrate from anywhere. We are totally different. We are our own people. We had an ethnogenesis. We are something completely different, and we refuse to be ignored. Everybody wants to take everything that we build, everything we create, gets assimilated into everybody, and then we don't get any compensation. Those days are done. Those days are done. Our people are not being silent anymore. We're not just going to keep suffering in silence where everybody steps on us. Those days are done. We're done. Until amends are made for the things done detrimentally to us, we're just not going to participate. That's why you lost that last election. And if you think that's something, wait till you see what else happens when 43 million foundational Black Americans stop participating. If you're going to ignore us with your benign neglect, then we're just not going to participate. And you just end up where you end up. You already done the worst you can do to us. There's nothing that you can do to us. We are not playing these games anymore. They send these little puppet people and put them in positions, and then they turn around and undermine everything we're doing. We're not playing that anymore. Those games are done. Those days are over. Okay? And I'm going to read to you some of the things that transpired with Governor West, just so you can see the double talk and the double speak this weirdo decided to do. Now, we've been fighting and trying to put things in place for our reparations for some time now, and it's not going to stop. I just want you to show how these guys get in position and they turn their little snakes. They hiss their little snakes at us. I want to show you the kind of stuff that they do. So then when we call them tethers, and then when we call them when we separate ourselves and delineate ourselves from them, you'll understand why. Because nobody else would tolerate this type of behavior.
Yeah, and for the FBAs, y'all, God, do y'all wake up in the morning talking about, ooh, I hate Africans. I don't like Africans. Right? Do y'all do that? Do y'all just wake up with Africans on y'all mind? Is that what y'all do? Because y'all ain't got shit else to do? Y'all ain't got no education, right? Y'all are the people that are easily influenced, easily manipulated. Those are FBAs, and I just want y'all to know that, right? I'm outside walking my dog right now. But yeah, that's something y'all need to get on, because it ain't no way I wake up with hate in my heart for nobody, right? I don't hate nobody. I don't even hate my ex-husband. That motherfucker hate me, but I don't hate him, right? So come on now. Black people, we need to get it together. Get it together, okay? That's all I'm saying. Everybody, like, everybody got that African blood.
Usually being called you look African is a definite flex. The whole world know that. Boy, there ain't no flex being called African. What person you know that gets happy when they be called an African? Now forget that. What black American you know that think it's a flex to be called an African or say you look African? You call a black American Negro African or they say you look African, they gonna be mad as a motherfucker. That's just like a white person calling them the N-word. You call a black American and tell them, hey nigga, you look African. You look like my Ghanaian uncle. They will be mad. Okay? Even look in the comments gonna tell you they don't like being called African, look African, sound African, none of that African shit. Nobody wanna look like no African. The only people that look like African to me is the Caribbeans. The Caribbeans are African. Those are full-blooded Africans, okay? The Jamaicans look full-blooded Africans, okay? All the Caribbeans look African. That's why I look at people sideways on this country that say they got Caribbean in their family. I say, okay, well, you got African in your family. So people say, man, I got Caribbean. They came from America and went over there. And they Caribbean, that's my family. Well, they African, goddamn it. Those some Africans. Every Caribbean I seen look African. All right? So you fuck around and call somebody African if you want to in black America. They're gonna be upset. Nobody wanna look like no African. Call a black Filipino African, they're gonna be mad. Even call the Australian people that's black, call them African, they're gonna be mad. Nobody wanna look African, man. It's a joke. It's not a flex. It's not. It's not. Ain't nobody walking around in America, especially the Negroes in America, say, hey, I look African. Okay? Only y'all, see, y'all got a distinct look that nobody has in this world, yo. We can look at y'all and tell y'all African. 9.9 out of 10, if I see one of you flip-flop wearing motherfuckers walking down the street, I can tell that's an African. Y'all walk different. Y'all look different. Y'all eyes are yellow. 8 times out of 10, y'all got them jaundice eyes. So yeah, no, man. Shit, dog. Fuck around, call somebody African. Look at the comments.
Black men getting on here talking about their Cherokee, they're not African, talking about Africans in a derogatory way, talking about Haitians, Jamaicans, all the Caribbean islands, talking about Mexican people, just talking about all this. This is identity politics. This is no different between the LGBT community. Y'all are all about identity politics while the community suffers. The black community, the FBA community is in no position to talk about no other country or no other group of people at all. We're not doing anything progressive but talking about identity politics. It's embarrassing as men. Men, we gotta do better.
So I guess Tariq Nasheed has been on a couple of live stream panels with some fully African panels. And just when I tell y'all that these panels are like heated back and forth. So like I saw a couple of them a couple days ago. And like my thing is like the intensity that they have with Tariq Nasheed is like on another level. Like you would think that he was some type of dictator that's like ruining their whole country or their whole lives, when all of this man really does is just like he speaks the truth from his perspective. This is what he sees. This is what he thinks. He's prioritizing the foundational Black American lineage. And they just be on those panels, like it'd be like 5 or 6 of them at a time, and they all be trying to dog him, speaking over him, not even letting him talk. And then I was watching on the one panel, they wouldn't even let him get a word in. Right? He stands his ground. They wouldn't even let him barely get a word in. And then when he left, because they wouldn't let him talk, it was so much chaos. You couldn't even really understand what everybody was saying. When he left, because it was no point of being there if they're not gonna listen. Then after he left, and they said, "Oh, see, he fled, he left, he can't handle it." And it's like, my thing is with I feel like they're lucky to even have had him on their panel, because the only reason why they have so many views on their panels is because Tariq Nasheed was on there. And I feel like Tariq, if you watching this, I really feel like you shouldn't even really grace them with your presence. Like if they want you on their panel, I really feel like they should pay you up front and just say, because you know, these people, they might have like 100 followers, 1,000 followers or something like that. They're not they don't have any clout. Like they're clout chasing. They don't have no clout. They don't have no pull, no push, no nothing really without having you on there or without having somebody with notoriety on their panel. My thing is like they just so mad. Like these fully African panels, like they just be so mad over words. It's like nobody's stopping you. Black Americans, Foundation Black Americans, FBA, nobody's stopping you from doing anything. Nobody's stopping you from going to school. Nobody's stopping you from starting a business, getting a loan, getting a house, living your life. Nobody's terrorizing you. The only thing that you don't like is you don't like what we're saying. You don't like what Tariq Nasheed says. You don't, and it's like, honestly, it ain't even really that deep for real. Like the way that they go in on, it's not even that deep. Nobody's stopping you from doing nothing. You can still live your life regardless of what somebody thinks about you. Yeah, he may not think very highly of you. Maybe many of us may not, but does it really matter what anybody really thinks about you? But anyways, I just thought that was interesting, and I don't know. I just feel like these panels are just like, they wouldn't be shit if he didn't show up on there. Let's just be for real.
About a foundational Black American.
Flee where?
Fled.
Where?
You fled your homeland.
Jamaica.
You fled your homeland.
Yo, you know what?
You right. There to fight.
No. Hold on.
You didn't stay there to fight and make it better.
All right, let me calm down.
You didn't stay there and fight to make your country better, my nigga. So you can't do nothing to us.
Hold on,
nigga.
The other day I made a post questioning whether the FBA movement actually makes sense for Black African Americans. And they actually came for me in the comments. So many people were like, what are you? Where are you from? Da-da-da-da. Listen, that is hilarious because actually on both sides of my family, we are so foundational. In fact, that it has been documented by state governments. People have done research on us. So no, can't tell by looking on the face. I don't know if it's my hair or what, but let's get into it. Like most, I have two sides of my family. My father's side, I like to look at them after doing my research. They were primarily slaves, not a lot of mixing going on there, but they are documented. Okay? Then I have my other side, my mother's side. They too were slaves. They've been free a long time. Probably kind of lightish, whitish, interesting things going on over there, but we'll get into it. My father's side. They are from Kansas, Gary County, Kansas to be specific. If you've ever been to Fort Riley, Big Red One, there we are. Okay, they actually came to Kansas as settlers because Kansas was not a slave state yet. And they have actually been recognized. We've been recognized in the centennial issue of Life magazine. Also, we have been recognized with a state park given to us by the state of Kansas. And we've also been recognized in a lot of the literature that they do on foundational settler families, Black and white. So how was the Hammond family formed? Well, first we have Pascal Hammond, who was originally born in South Carolina, then moved to Mississippi as a freedman, then came to Kansas actually in the 1880s with a wife and 6 children who actually died because it was actually very hard to settle Kansas. There were still Native Americans there. It was just wild open land. But then he actually married another woman and had a son named Joseph Hammond. Now, Joseph Hammond met a nice young lady. Her name was Mary Johnson, and Mary Johnson was actually the daughter of Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson was born as a slave in Virginia in 1830. Then somehow he moved first to Missouri. I'm not sure why he was there that early, but he did have a child in the state of Missouri in 1859. That was before slavery was over. But he would then go on to have the first Black child born in Gary County. Now, one of his children was named Mary Johnson, as I said, who then went on to marry Joseph Hammond. And Mary Johnson would go on to marry Joseph Hammond, and that established our family. Okay, as I said, the state of Kansas has recognized us because we were there so early. In fact, they even donated a park, a National Kansas State Park, Hammond Family Park. So yes, I feel that that is foundational. In fact, we're so foundational. About 2 years ago, I was at a massage conference, I'm a massage therapist, and I was way down in Phoenix, and I met, older, kind of my age, white man, and we're talking, he's like, where are you from? And I said, well, I'm from Kansas. He said, well, I'm from Oklahoma. What's your name? I said, I come from the Hammond family. You know what this white man told me? He said, my God, you're from a foundational family. The Hammonds are a foundational family. And I said, thank you, sir, for recognizing. We know that. So they recognize it, okay? More in another video. We've actually been featured in some books and etc. But that is not my point with this video. On my mother's side, it is very interesting, but let's get to some historical facts. So my ancestor is Paul Slocum Cuff. Paul Slocum Cuff was a son of Kofi, who was freed in 1749, and a lot of times, like they do, they go ahead and reorganize their name. There's a name for it. I'll give it to you in the next video. But at any rate, it basically means that they take their free name would sometimes be the name similar to their family. So this man took the name of Kofi, spelled C-U-F-F-E. Okay, so my family now has the name of Cuff, C-U-F-F. Okay, and so basically, Paul Slocum Cuff was the first person to actually try to go back to Liberia. He worked with President Johnson. If you are ever in Hartford, I think it's New Hartford, Massachusetts, go there. He has a whole museum, okay, dedicated to him. So no. Now, the other side of one of the other ancestors on my mom's family, on my grandfather's side, interestingly, I was doing my research and everything, and the White family actually added us to the family tree. And they actually added us as a slave and a family. Okay, so I'm going to go into this in other videos. And thanks to Ancestry.com, also on my grandfather's father's side, we had the family member contact us. I got all the way back to Sophie Morgan, and one of my white family members is actually in contact with me. I've talked with her several times. She actually even did a museum exhibit on us as their black family. Okay, it's an interesting time. Not sure why they're doing this. I always had my doubts. Like, I knew I was going to see some whites because I could look at my mom. But anyway, my main point with this video is I have my receipts. I'm actually a very foundational. So foundational, we have museums, we have articles, we have people doing research. I am in contact with my white slave owner family. I don't know if I'm excited about it. They've actually added us to the tree. So no, stop judging a book by its cover. And that is my whole point with this foundational thing. Maybe you think you can tell, but you don't even know who I am, and I actually have receipts.
Okay, so if Tariq Nasheed is the leader of FBA, right? Because we keep telling you motherfuckers there's no leader. If Tariq Nasheed is the leader of FBA, right? Then the leader of African American is Jesse Jackson, right? Because that's who coined that term, right? Right? Okay. So, everybody that want to be called African American, y'all go tell Jesse Jackson, okay? There's a segment of the population that don't want to be lumped in with immigrants, okay? So we don't want to call ourselves African American, okay? Because calling yourself African American technically turns you into an immigrant from Africa coming to America, okay? So tell y'all leader, Jesse Jackson, okay? Since we got leaders and shit now, okay? Tell them we not recognizing that term no more, all right? Yep. Peace and blessings, y'all.
In the words of my President General, I love it when he says it. You're either a Garveyite or a parasite. You're either a Garveyite or a parasite. You got people that take Marcus Garvey's image, sell it, but they're not really for the people. They for making money. And now you got people that's making money off Marcus Garvey's image by talking negative about her. Keep Marcus Garvey's name out your mouth if you're not for unifying the people. If you are for your own people here, be for your own people here.
Bad. Like I keep telling people, Trump has not done anything to harm foundational Black Americans.
So this is why I don't take the FBA movement seriously as some pro-Black movement. This is why I said that FBA are basically agents of the Trump administration, because here you have the quote-unquote leader of this FBA movement parroting Donald Trump's anti-immigrant rhetoric about immigrants taking quote-unquote Black jobs. And he's basically arguing that because of Trump's anti-immigrant position and stance, opportunities are opening up for black people. And if that were true, why has black unemployment increased to the highest point that it's been since 2022, if that's the case? And I'll post links in the comments to articles that make this point. The other thing is this: it is absolutely ridiculous for you to suggest that Donald Trump's policies are not hurting so-called foundational black Americans, when this man's policies are detrimental to African Americans. These anti-DEI measures are slamming the doors of opportunity in the face of black people. And it's not about just limiting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the federal government. He's also doing everything that he can to end it in the schools and private industry. He's using these anti-DEI measures to basically erase black history, the very history that you claim to be about promoting. You're the one that put out Hidden Colors. And yet and still you find yourself co-signing a man that wants to erase black history. Erase it. They have literally taken important historical figures off of federal government websites. They are literally trying to censor the Black Museum, the National Black History Museum in Washington, D.C. That's what this Trump administration is doing. This Trump administration is trying to end consent decrees against racist police departments. And while they're doing that, they are trying to criminalize black activists that are speaking out and protesting against police brutality. They are no longer focusing federal law enforcement on white supremacists. Instead, they are focusing on activists like Black Lives Matter. And you have the audacity to say that Donald Trump's policies are not hurting black Americans. Donald Trump just promoted and signed into law this so-called big, beautiful bill, which is nothing but a big, ugly lie, a windfall to the rich, where they're basically taking money from the poor to give even more money to the rich. They're ending programs such as SNAP, or cutting back programs such as SNAP, programs that disproportionately benefit and assist black people. They're cutting back on those programs. They're cutting back on Medicaid, a program that disproportionately benefits African Americans. But yet and still, you have the audacity to get on here and say that Donald Trump's policies don't hurt African Americans. Donald Trump is talking about giving police immunity to harass black people, to brutalize black people. But as far as you're concerned, Donald Trump doesn't have policies that are detrimental to black people. This man has fired all these federal workers, and we know that black people disproportionately work for government agencies. So black people are disproportionately impacted by that. But yet and still, you find yourself defending this man and basically saying that his policies are not detrimental to black people. You find yourself defending a man who was shocked and astounded that an African leader could actually speak proper English. This is a man who basically called African countries shithole countries. This is a man who said only black people can live like this when going through a slum in Chicago. But that's the man that you find yourself defending. That's the man that you find yourself parroting his rhetoric. This is why, again, I can't take these FBA people seriously. When did you stop fighting against white supremacy and start fighting against other so-called melanated people? Well, and lastly, I'll mention this. Donald Trump has basically gutted the Job Corps program. While you talk about how Donald Trump is helping black people get jobs, he's basically taking away jobs. As a result of him gutting that Job Corps program, many young black people have lost jobs, lost opportunities. And we know that when our young people do not have opportunity, that is a recipe for disaster. But this is a man that you have the nerve to talk about how he's helping black people get jobs when he's taking federal jobs and he's getting rid of Job Corps. Make it make sense.
Yep, time to go. That motherfucker coming over here. Ooh, shit. Hey, Carlo, bitch, look behind you. Ooh, shit, motherfucker.
I'm so pro-black, you can't get me to involve myself in diaspora wars. I'm every nigga on this earth. I'm African, I'm Caribbean, I'm Afro-Latina, I'm Afro-European. If you're a nigga, I am you, you're me. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You're me, you're me, I'm you. I don't...
I'm with the niggas tonight, and it feels alright. I'm with the niggas tonight, and it feels alright. I'm with the niggas tonight, and it feels alright. I'm with the niggas tonight, and it feels alright.
Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.